I can't fake small talk, and I can't fake intros, so I'm not even going to try. Just to see if I've got my microphone working well and my recording working well, I figured I'd start with a video on one of my own mods called Satisfying Preferences. Satisfying Preferences is something I wished had been in the game, and it was one of my first major mods. I'm really happy with how it came out. I've never had to really do any maintenance on it. It just keeps working, and it works exactly how I wanted it to for the most part. But I never seen anybody talk about it, and I thought instead of having to read all this, maybe it would be fun to just do a simple little video showing the basic features. The idea of satisfying preferences is that when your sim does something they like, they get satisfaction points. But when they do something they don't like, they lose satisfaction points. When your sim has nothing to do, what do you tend to do with them? Maybe try to fulfill some wants, fill out some skills, work on some stuff, basically just do a bunch of work. What if instead you could passively gain satisfaction points simply by doing things your sim enjoys doing? With this mod, your sim gains 10 satisfaction points every 10 minutes, whether they're doing any of their activity preferences. If you like gardening, you'll gain satisfaction while doing it. If you like mischief, you'll gain satisfaction while pranking people. If you like rocket science, you'll gain satisfaction by building a rocket or exploring space. This mod has 3 different modules. The first module is for activities. The second module is for weather. And the third module is for audio. There are 3 different flavors. One does 10 points of satisfaction per minute, one does 15, and one does 30. So now I'm here in Create a Sim, and I'm going to go and choose an activity and a music genre that Waffle likes and dislikes. For the sake of example, we're going to say he dislikes cooking, and he likes video games. For music, we're going to say he dislikes classical and likes electronica. You'll notice the weather preferences aren't in here. They might be in here if you have a mod installed to display them, but I do not. Normally, weather preferences are determined by clicking on another sim and going into the friendly menu, where you can find a declare weather preferences option at the end, where you select which weather preferences you like and dislike. That way it's optional, even if you have the module installed. Which is good, because weather preferences honestly can be very annoying. Sims do know what the weather is outside even when they're indoors. And as a result, if they live in a place where it's hot all the time and they don't like when it's hot, they might get frustrated. If they live in a place where it's windy all the time and they don't like when it's windy, they might get frustrated. But that's also a good gameplay incentive to not live in a world where you have to deal with whether my cat is attacking the microphone. Magic, you gotta get out of here. Yeah, I'm doing something. Get out of here. Which is a good example, because currently it's raining, which means that Waffle has the satisfying preference buff for liking the weather. Weather, activities, and music each have their own positive and negative buffs, and they can all stack. So for example, right now, I'm not sure which version I have installed, but I have a different rate installed than the default, and the update on the satisfaction points here doesn't happen at a consistent time frame every time. Sometimes it adds them up a little bit, and it will add them all in bulk at once. But we can see standing here that Waffle is at 380 and he just jumped to 410 because it's raining outside, so he's getting satisfaction points. Because he dislikes cooking, I'm actually going to start by showing something he likes happening at the same time as the weather. So we'll go over to the computer here and we will play a game while it's raining out. So that means Waffle will be doing 2 things that he likes at once: listening to the rain and playing video games. When you do activities that you like, you get these. Please ignore this. This is because I'm testing another mod I'm making, and that's so I know that it's working, which means it's working. So there's a fun preview for you. When Sims are doing an activity they like, they get these default maxis moodlets for liking the activity, and whenever that moodlet is active, they will also get the satisfaction moodlet for it. Activities have this generic one that just says feeling satisfied or feeling dissatisfied, but I do have unique ones for the weather. But because Waffle is doing 2 things that he likes at once, he's gaining satisfaction points twice as fast. So now, let's say he's hungry, and he's going to go over here and he's going to cook. I don't know if you can tell based on the evidence of fire and the multiple meals, but I recorded this part quite a few times because I had some trouble. But this time I'm just going to let it ride. And you know what? I said that last time too, and I still deleted that recording, so don't tell anybody. But now, even though it's raining out, and he likes the rain, he really doesn't like cooking. He really doesn't like cooking. and it was on fire the last time he was cooking, so he extra doesn't like it. But because he doesn't like cooking, he's now getting the feeling dissatisfied moodlet. Ignore these. I don't know what these are. I know that these are duplicates of my own mod's buff, but I see this all the time no matter what I'm doing, and I don't know what mod it's from. I hope to God it's not mine. But if anybody else sees this, please let me know. I don't think it's from my own mod. But while Waffle was doing that, and I was distracting you from paying attention to it, he wasn't actually gaining satisfaction points because they were canceling each other out. Now, let's send him over here to play another game. And I forgot to buy a radio for this example, so we're going to go in here real quick and buy a radio. Let's just get any old radio. I got all sorts of them installed. Let's pick one at random. Nope, let's pick DGR3X. I like him. Let's get DGR3X, stick him up there on the table. Now we're going to go here and we're going to turn on electronica, because Waffle likes electronica. So now he's doing something he likes, he's listening to music he likes, and the weather is something he likes, which means he has one of each of the satisfaction moodlets. And we can see over here, his satisfaction points are going up like crazy. He is making so much satisfaction from doing these three things he likes all at once. And if we switch to music that he doesn't like, we will see that he now gets the negative audio moodlets, not my tempo, and dissatisfying dissonance. So now that he's got two positives and one negative, you can do the math. That means he's only got one positive moodlet actually functioning at the time. I know I made the mod, and I'm not trying to be like, woo, I'm so cool, but I think this is a really cool system. I've never seen anyone actually talk about using this mod, but it's really one of my favorites, which I know is weird to say because I'm the one who made it, so obviously I wanted it, but I think this is a cool system that the game really benefits from, because it makes it more meaningful to actually care about your preferences. And you can use it to grind satisfaction points in a way that's a little more freeform than, grinding aspirations or grinding wants, which we all know they need a lot of work. Like 10 points for not paying rent. Oh wow, these are bad. So I think this is a fun replacement system. I also have Carl's gameplay overhaul installed, and Carl's gameplay overhaul actually stop doing this. This effect is crazy. Carl's gameplay overhaul actually also has setting for a daily calculation of your aspiration points based on how good the day went. I have no clue how that actually works, but it checks how happy your sim was throughout the day, how sad they were throughout the day, and it gives them a positive or negative amount of moodlets at the end of the day, a positive or negative amount of satisfaction at the end of the day. And I think that pairs really well with this mod, because this can honestly be really overpowered. Waffle's literally just standing here, but because there's music playing in the room, he's still gaining satisfaction points, and you can really abuse that. But if you use Carl's mod, he's also standing here, he's uncomfortable, he has to pee, which I just said he's gaining satisfaction points, but he's listening to a song he doesn't like, so that's not true. But you get the idea. If you use Carl's mod, at the end of the day, he might have actually had a bad enough day that it would cancel out all these gains, unless you were making sure he was having a good time otherwise. So I really recommend installing that mod too. I'll link to that one in the description. Wow, that just kind of ended there, didn't it? There's not really much else to say about it. I do think some activities are not accounted for properly in the mod, and I know for a fact I haven't updated it in quite a while, but I also don't think they've added any activities to the game since the last time I updated it. I will have to check, so there will probably be an update for this in the future that adds any missing activities. One thing I will say is I would love to do this for modded likes and dislikes, but modded likes and dislikes typically don't follow the same format as the EA ones, so it's not as easy to do. The way that I've made this mod is whenever your sim gets this moodlet, they get this moodlet, and that's really all there is to it on a basic level. It's a lot more complicated than that, because technically you can't do this with tuning. You have to do this with scripting, which Lot51 wrote me a script for this explicitly to have a buff apply when a buff applies, the way that this works. And because of that, modded activities, I just really can't implement them into the mod, which really sucks because they did not finish likes and dislikes, and I don't think they ever are going to finish likes and dislikes. So there's a lot of activities that aren't accounted for, but at least for music and weather, those are complete. And oh nope, I just said they're complete, but I'm sure there's new radio stations that I totally have forgotten exist and have not accounted for. But like I said, I'll be checking into that and making an update to it sometime in the future. Oh, get out of here. But yeah, that's really the gist of it. There's not a lot more to say. I don't know how to start videos. I don't know how to end videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like... oh, God. Who's coming in the door? Oh, my God, it's a cat. Is this how the pet adoption drive works? Just strays and they just come into your house? And all their names end with EO? Oh, not him. Tanner. I'm going with Tanner. Tanner, live in my house. This is from another mod of mine. This is falling apart. I'm leaving. Oh my god. Whatever. Goodbye. Oh, this is hard.